Alright, so what's up YouTube? My name is Nemo and today I am here with the college basketball series where I'll be using the Duke Blue Devils and 2K23, and we're going to go throughout the season game by game and try to win the national championship. Now, I've done this before. I know I did it the year we had Zion. I did it with the COVID year, which was the last year I did it. We had Jalen Johnson and DJ Stewart, and I never finished it. And I know the last time I started it, I said I was gonna finish it, didn't finish it. But this year, I have a plan in mind, and I plan to finish it. And that plan is I'm gonna post a video for every game of the season that Duke plays. So if Duke has a game, you should expect to see College Hoops Duke series video from me. But without further ado, I'm gonna show y'all the schedule that we got ahead of us, and I'm gonna show y'all the team, and then in the next video we'll be playing our first game. So right now, with the schedule 2K generated for us, first game we got Tennessee, which is gonna be a battle. Tennessee's looking real solid this year. I'm a big fan. I'm a small guy. I'm a big fan of small guards. So Zakai Ziegler got my heart. I think he's a really good player. I think he can really go. Then after that, we got Florida State, which never gonna be an easy game playing a conference team, especially a gritty team like Florida State. Hopefully I can get a win there. Then we play a star-studded UCLA team with Tiger Campbell and Dem Bono, which I think is one of the best freshman bigs in the country, and not to mention Amari Bailey, who may be one of the best freshmen in general in the country. Then we play our biggest rival in North Carolina. Ain't much to be said there. It's a rivalry game against a team that made it to the national championship last year, beat us in the Final Four. Hopefully we can come out with a win. They also are a team that look really solid this year. So I'm excited to see what North Carolina does. We play Houston, which Duke actually played in a scrimmage about a week ago. They played well. They played without Dariq Whitehead and Derek Lively. They played well. So that should be a good game. Then we got TCU going up against guard Mike Miles, who I've been watching his videos on YouTube since he was in elementary school. He always been a bucket. Then I feel like we'll have an easy game with Florida. Florida doesn't look too good this year. Same way with Texas Tech, but they're always a gritty team, so it might be a battle. Then after that, we got Arizona, Auburn, Texas, who I think is really good. They beat Arkansas by 30 in a scrimmage. Arterio Morris, if he don't get suspended for his legal problems, he can mess around and end up being a lottery pick. I think he can really go, and he proved that in the Arkansas scrimmage. Then we face USC, Villanova. I just remember Jay Wright retired. Then we got Illinois, Arkansas, and Gonzaga. That's going to be a busy week for us. Followed by Ohio State, who beat us last year, so we're going to have to get our revenge. Kansas, who we actually play in the Champions Classic this year. I'm excited to see how Grady Dick plays. I'm a big Grady Dick fan. I think he can really go. He has a nice game, and he can score in bunches. Then we got Michigan State, which is an out-of-conference rival in my opinion. Whenever we play, it's a good game. Followed by Baylor and fantastic freshman Keontae George. Bama, LSU, Kentucky, who I think might be really good this year. I'm a big fan of Cason Wallace. I think Cason Wallace may be one of the best players in the country. But we just going to have to wait and see. Virginia team, who's never really that talented, but they're well coached by Tony Bennett. 2K don't have Tony Bennett, so I feel like this should be a blowout. Then we got Juwan Howard's Michigan team, Iowa, South Carolina, Oregon, and then Stanford. And to show y'all the team, I didn't make the rosters, so if you got any problems with the overalls, it ain't me. I did make some changes because it was some key players with super low overalls that I felt like needed to be bumped. So those players I bumped, like for example, Mark Mitchell was a 75. I bumped him up to an 82 because I felt like a 75 was too low. And Kyle Filipowski, I bumped him up too because he was at a 79. And I felt like that was wrong, especially considering this roster has Pop Isaacs at an 81. And if you know me, you know I think Pop isn't good at all. So if Pop's at 81, you can't put Kyle Filipowski as a 79. But just my quick analysis of the roster, we got Derek Lively, who I think is a really good player. I think he'll fit that role that Mark Williams played last year because him and Mark Williams have similar games on the defensive side of the ball. But Derek Lively has an offensive bag that Mark Williams didn't have. Derek Lively can score. He can drop the ball off, dunk it, finish it. He can shoot the ball. He can stretch out and hit the three, which Mark Williams showed he could do that in practice, but he never really showed he could consistently do that in a game. Moving on to Dariq Whitehead. Me personally, before he even committed to Duke, I thought he was a dog. And last year, I think he was the best player in high school basketball. To the point where Montverde, a team that won multiple championships, literally leaned on him to do majority of the scoring. In the early game, at the beginning of last year, they played IMG. He scored 75% of their points in that game. They lost. But at a school like Montverde, if they're looking at one person to score the ball like that, then you know he's really good. Especially with how stacked their roster is year in and year out. So I think if Dariq Whitehead can stay healthy, he can play with confidence, he'll be really good for us this year. Mark Mitchell is a guy, I really like his game. He's not a selfish guy. Same with Dariq Whitehead and Derek Lively. None of these guys are selfish. They're not selfish guys. Dang, my Wi-Fi went out. They're not selfish guys. They don't demand the ball. And the thing that I love most about Mark Mitchell, Dariq Whitehead, and Derek Lively, this goes for all three of those guys. As good as they are offensively, all of those guys are probably better defensively. And offense wins games, but defense wins championships. And that's what I'm excited to see from our Duke squad this year. Now, Jeremy Roach is a guy, when he was in high school and committed to Duke, I already felt like he was going to be a 4-year guy. Even though he was a 5-star player, I felt like he was going to be a 4-year guy. Felt like he was a traditional Duke point guard. A floor general, isn't too worried about his individual numbers, just worried about making sure he leads his team to victory. And that just summarizes his game. That's who he is. He's a Duke point guard. I'm excited to see how he bumps his game this year, though, considering the fact that he's going to be the leader of the team. He's our team captain, along with Jacob Grandison. He's our team captain. So he's going to have to lead these young guys, put these young guys in the position to make plays, teach them, watch film with them, help them understand the college game a little better. I'm excited to see how he does that, as well as build on his individual game. Because last year in the NCAA tournament, I felt like he played beautifully. I loved the way he was playing in the tournament. If he could play like that, or even better this year, Jeremy Roach might be my favorite player in college basketball. Next, we have Kyle Filipowski. Now, I didn't know much about this guy until summer of 2021. I watched the Nike EYBL, and I turned on New York Rens because some guys I grew up with played for Boo Williams. So I watched New York Rens play against Boo Williams. I see these two white guys. I'm like, dang, they look familiar. At the time, I didn't know that was his twin brother. But I was like, dang, they look familiar. Immediately, out the gate, they were the two players that impressed me. There was multiple 5-stars on that team. Matt and Kyle Filipowski were the players that impressed me. I'm surprised his brother went to Harvard because I felt like his brother had Power 5 talent. Like, their chemistry was off the charts. That was one of the best high-lows that I've seen in high school basketball in a long time. Both of them extremely versatile, could get it done in multiple ways. And I'm honestly excited to see how him and Derek Lively work together. Because I feel like if they can build chemistry, him and Derek Lively could be a better version of what I saw from him and his brother in high school. And I thought him and his brother had a special connection in high school. Tyrese Proctor is a guy I don't know much about. But I've seen highlights. I'm hearing good stuff about him. I'm excited to see how he plays. Now, 2K has him as a point guard. I really don't think he'll be at the one much for Duke unless Jeremy Roach is out the game, which is a big deal. Because last year we didn't have a backup point guard other than Jalen Blakes. And I love Jay Blakes, but Jay Blakes wasn't confident enough to really come in and impact the game. So when Roach went out the game, Wendell Moore had to come in and basically run the one, which he did a good job of, which ended up getting him selected in the first round, going to Minnesota and whatnot. If Tyrese Proctor can be our backup point guard, that'll be huge for us. That'll be absolutely huge. Now, Ryan Young, another guy don't know much about. But in that scrimmage against Houston, he played the best out of everybody on the team. I'm not gonna lie. I thought, because we get transfers all the time at Duke, most of them just sit on the bench and clap and get garbage minutes. I thought him and Jacob Grandison were going to be those guys. Just clapping on the freshmen and going on with their day. But that didn't happen at all. He came in that scrimmage against Houston and looked like the guy, which has me excited because I don't know if Duke's going to start Kyle Filipowski at the 4 or Ryan Young, seeing how Ryan Young played. But if Ryan Young does end up coming off the bench, that's going to be big coming off the bench for us. Because I think he's really good. Same with Jacob Grandison. Really good guy. Two-way guy. Defend, unselfish, can score the ball, good slasher. I feel like he's going to come off the bench for us. He's going to be a captain off the bench. I feel like if him and Ryan Young, shoot, I don't know if Tyrese Proctor going to start. I really don't know how the starting lineups are going to look. But let's just say Proctor comes off the bench, Young and Grandison. Those are going to be three guys that are going to be huge off the bench for us, for Duke to have success this year. And I'm excited to see how it goes. Then we have Kale Catchings. Remember how I said Duke get transfers that are going to come and just clap on the bench and root on the freshmen? I think he's one of those guys. I'm not even going to lie. Now, Christian Reeves is a guy I think has tremendous upside. He's another guy I feel like has that Mark Williams type game. Most of his points are going to be dump offs, oops, dunks, things of that nature. And on the defensive end, he's going to protect the basket, block shots, be an intimidator. I think he has a lot of potential. Of course, he's not going to get much time this year. But I feel like in the future, he can be big for us. And he came with the intentions of redshirting. Now, from my knowledge, he got to Duke and impressed so much that Duke didn't want to redshirt him. But he came with the intentions of redshirting. So if Duke don't want to redshirt him, that shows you how much Duke really sees in him. Then we got Jaden Shutt. It got him wearing number 16. Number 14 is retired. You know how Duke does. So I put him in 16. Jaden Shutt is a guy, athletic guy. Honestly reminds me a lot of Grayson Allen. And I know that may sound crazy, but coming out of high school, he reminds me a lot of Grayson Allen. I think Jaden Shutt can be a really good guy. I think he could be really good for our team. I think he can be he can play that Grayson Allen role that Grayson Allen played on our 2015 team. But right now he's not getting minutes, so I don't know if the coaching staff isn't impressed from what they're seeing from him in practice or what. But I feel like if he plays with confidence, here's his floor or his ceiling for me at Duke. Ceiling, Grayson Allen. Floor, Alex O'Connell. And I love Alex O'Connell, but Alex O'Connell to me could have been so special, and he ended up just being a bench player. Then we got Jay Blakes. I love Jay Blakes. Good guy. Plays both sides of the ball. Just wants to win. He's going to do whatever it takes to win. I think the key for Jay Blakes is playing with confidence. If Jalen Blakes can play with confidence, Jalen Blakes can be our backup point guard. He just has to play with confidence. Then we got Spencer Hubbard. Probably not going to see the floor in this league. Maybe not even in real life unless we're playing Norfolk State, Coppin State. Stanley Borden the same way. Guy, not going to get much time. But that's the team right here. That's the team we're rocking with in 2K. In real life and in 2K. My biggest concern for Duke this year is shooting. If Duke can shoot the ball, I feel like Duke could be good. But right now, I feel like out of the guys that are going to get significant minutes, I feel like Jay and Shaq can shoot the ball. But I don't know if he's going to get significant minutes. Out of the guys that's going to get significant minutes, I don't see nobody that I see as a shooter. Dariq Whitehead can shoot the ball, but I don't want him to be our shooter. We needed a 3. I don't want us going to Dariq Whitehead because I don't think that's the best recipe for success. I don't think this team has a shooter. I think they have players that can shoot the ball 30+%, but not a guy where it's like, all right, the other teams like, look, shadow him, face guard him, don't get the ball. We don't have one of those guys this year. And I don't know if that's going to hurt us, because the last time I felt like we didn't have one of those guys was with the Zion year. I thought Cam Reddish was going to be that guy. He wasn't. And because of that, we weren't able to go far in the NCAA tournament because teams were able to pack the paint and force us to shoot jumpers. And that really hurt us. But other than that, here's the Duke squad. Here's the College Hoops Duke series. I hope y'all ready for a good one. I'm back. I'm focused. And I'm ready to do this thing, man. If you like the video, make sure you hit the like button, you subscribe, and you share with your friends. And until next time, I'm out.